So welcome back to another video on the channel. Now in this video, we're going to be going through something slightly different, okay? I'm going to be going through a topic that I've never really covered on the channel, but I think it's going to help a high amount of you guys out there who are just starting your SMMA journey. You're just starting out in this kind of, realm of business and whatnot. Almost like you want to start, but you kind of don't know where to start. You don't know what you need to know. You don't know what you need to do to get clients for your SMMA, to scale in an SMA to, six figures and multiple six figures, just like I've done. And many of the students of the program have done. You want to do it, but you don't know how to. Well, in this video, I'm going to go through everything you need to start SMMA, from what you need to understand to what you physically need to do, to how you can execute on everything to successfully build a six-figure SMMA. Guys, as always, just before we jump into the video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's try get this video to 100 likes. So the first thing that I want to discuss is that you should not make things complicated. Do not complicate things for yourself, right? SMMA, social media marketing agency, is so basic, but it's so effective. There's two things, right? There's two things that you really need to master. Now, each thing obviously has its subsections, and that's really where majority of the work is. But as an overall kind of overarching idea, the two things that you need to master is client acquisition, okay? The ability to generate clients for your agency, because clients are what, builds an agency to multiple six figures and whatnot. Nothing else does, right? It's when you sign on a client for 4,000 a month, for 5,000 a month, for 2,500 a month, whatever it is, that process is what actually scales you to, a six or multiple six-figure business. A lot of people think that it's this funnel, or it's this, or it's, Facebook ads, or it's Instagram ads. A lot of people think it's those things that scale an agency, or it's those things that make an agency become a six-figure agency or a multiple six-figure agency. But at the end of the day, it's none of that. What enables an agency to scale to six figures is clients paying you retainers. That's it, right? So the first thing is client acquisition. Without that, you're not going to get to six figures. The second thing, okay, is service delivery. The ability to deliver on what you're selling your clients on, right? You sign on a client for 4,000 a month, very average, very respectable retainer. 4,000 a month, you sign them on board. That's all well and good. But if you can't deliver on the service that you've sold them on, if you can't do the service delivery effectively and make it make sense for that business owner, then you're not gonna, they'll probably come on with you for 1 month, and then that'll be at the end of the month. Or even worse, they'll actually ask for a refund because you've not delivered on what you've sold them on. So they're the two things: client acquisition, service delivery. That's it. That's all you need to focus on. Now, depending on how you run your agency, okay, depending on how you structure things, you may even only need to just focus on client acquisition, right? And the reason is because, as I said at the start of the video, client acquisition, service delivery, they have their subsections. Let's look at service delivery for a minute. The subsections of service delivery is that you can build out a team surrounding service delivery. And when I say build out a team, I mean that you can bring a media buyer on board, or a contractor. If you're in the quantum agency program, you'll know we hate to use that word, but that's basically what it is. You can bring a media buyer on board, and they take care of service delivery. They take over service delivery. They do all of that side of the business for you. So not only do you not have to think about it, but because they specialize in it, they're actually able to generate you better results than you would yourself. So it's a win-win, because it takes it off your hands, but your service becomes more valuable because the person who's delivering the service is actually a true expert at service delivery, at specifically getting good results for whatever niche you're in. For majority of you watching this, you're going to be in the e-commerce niche. As you know, it's the best niche there is for SMMA. And so you bring a media buyer on board who specializes in delivering results for e-commerce stores, e-commerce brands, e-commerce businesses. And that's the true beauty of an SMMA, of building an agency, right? An online marketing agency, is that you can streamline things so much, so that really you as the agency owner, as the business owner, you've only got to focus on client acquisition. Now, as I say again, there's subsections, right, to these two major points. Now, the subsections to client acquisition is your outreach methods, is the ability to bring on a client. Now, there's a multitude of different ways. And if you're just starting out, hands down the best way, if you're just starting out in the e-commerce niche, this is, on this channel, I don't talk about any other niches because I'm not in those niches. So I can't, give my kind of personal experience on those niches. I can't give tips on how to get clients in those niches or anything like that because I'm not in them. right? On this channel, I speak specifically about the e-commerce niche because that's the niche that I've built my agency in, and it's now at multiple six figures. So I know a thing or two about how to get clients, how to deliver results and whatnot. So if you're in the e-commerce niche with your SMMA, which again you should be, the hands down the best way to get e-commerce clients when you're starting from nothing, you've got no initial investment or anything like that, is simple email outreach. It's literally how I scale my agency to six figures. From 0 to 6 figures, the only thing that I did was email outreach, and I was able to scale my agency to 6 figures, okay? And now another subsection of client acquisition is building a personal brand on Facebook. Now this is a method that has now enabled me to go from 6 figures with my agency to multiple 6 figures. Was building a personal brand on Facebook and generating inbound leads, right? E-commerce owners reaching out to me, asking me about Bax Consulting services and how we can help them scale their e-commerce brand. That's because I built a personal brand on Facebook, and there's a multitude of different things, again, even further subsections on how to go about that. And I've got a whole heap of videos on the channel discussing those. I've even shown direct posts that I've made and stuff like that, like actual copy that I've created for these groups and for my personal profile as well on Facebook. And obviously, if you're in the Quantum Agency program, you guys have the best training on how to do that effectively. So go ahead and watch those modules. But that's really how I scale my agency to multiple 6 figures. Now at this point, I'm still doing email outreach because I'm a product of my own products. Email outreach still works amazingly well. So I'm not going to neglect that. I'm still doing email outreach, but I've got a team surrounding that now. Personal brand on Facebook, right? So I'm still generating inbound leads because again, it still works amazingly well, but also now I'm delving into running paid traffic to generate clients, right? So I'm building that funnel, I'm building out a VSL. I've got one currently, but I'm actually optimizing and making it a whole lot better. And then I'm gonna start running a whole heap of paid traffic to that funnel, right? It's called a VSL, video sales letter. And so they're kind of the subsections of client acquisition. And as I mentioned at the start, if you focus on these two areas, right? Because at the end of the day, that's all that an agency is. Client acquisition, service delivery. Once you sign on a client, you then got to deliver the service. If you do those two things perfectly, okay, or not even perfectly, if you can just do those things at a high level, first things first, you're gonna stand head and shoulders above majority of other agencies out there, because majority of other agencies out there can generate clients, but they can't do the service delivery. So they're constantly spinning their wheels because they get a client on board, then they lose them a month later because they can't do service delivery. Get another client on board, lose them, another client. So they're not getting anywhere, right? They're spinning their wheels. They may have 10 clients, but then they lose 10 and then they just sign a new 10 and then they're back at 10, then they lose 10, then they sign another 10 and you know what I mean? So they're never getting anywhere. You want to be able to bring a client on board and have that client stay with you for 6 to 12 months. That's the ideal. Having an average of 6 to 12 month client retention rate is a really good kind of number, right? More so to the 12 months, but ideally you want to shoot for 12, 24 months in advance, right? And when you do that, that's how you build a business. That's how you build an SMMA, because you're stacking on top. So if you're able to sign a new client on every month, for example, right, at Bax Consulting right now, we're trying to shoot for 2 new clients every single month with ability to sign 4, but ideally we want to be signing at least 2 per month. We've got the ability to sign 4 on. Any more than that and we'd have to start growing the team, and that's what we want to get to. But my point with this is, let's say you start at 0 and you sign a new client on board for 4,000 a month. That's 4,000 a month in income for you, right? Then next month, if you sign another client on board for another 4,000, that's 8,000. Then next month, 12, then 16, then 20. So you're stacking, and that's how you build an agency. That's how you build a successful agency. And the only way that you are able to stack and have these clients stay with you is by mastering service delivery. So definitely don't have the mindset of client acquisition, because you should, but that shouldn't be your only focus, because if you do, that's great, but you're going to be spinning your wheels because clients are going to be leaving you consistently, and then you'll be able to sign new clients on board, all well and good, but then they'll leave you. Then another one comes up and you're just spinning your wheels, you're not getting anywhere. That's the true kind of secret, if you like, to building a successful SMMA. And I know this from personal experience, because when I started out, I couldn't deliver the best results. Now I've really honed in a service. Now I've really honed in the service delivery aspect of my agency. And now this is how you're able to scale to 6 and multiple 6 figures and the high end of multiple 6 figures, 50,000 a month, etc. by focusing on service delivery. When you bring a client on board, they're going to stay with you for a long period of time. And that is the pinnacle of running an agency. On a bit of a side tangent there, I was talking about service delivery and the logistics of scaling and whatnot. But at the end of the day, the two things that you need to focus on as an agency owner, everything you need to know as an agency owner, is client acquisition and service delivery. That is it. If you can master those two things, you are set. You will, building a six-figure agency that won't even be a question anymore, right? What will be a question is getting to a seven-figure agency, which is 80,000 a month, 83,000 a month to be more exact. That's what's going to be your goal. Building a six-figure agency, it's not even going to be a question. Okay, I can guarantee you it. Master client acquisition, master service delivery, you're set. In all transparency, you'll probably be able to make six figures a year by working a couple hours a week, right? It's not even going to be a question. Getting to seven figures is going to be the question. Getting to seven figures will be the goal when you master these two things. Now, if you want to learn more about how to specifically master client acquisition, how to specifically master service delivery, because obviously I was talking very broad concepts here. I was talking very kind of, from a 30,000 foot view. If you want to know specifics and how you can actionably scale your agency to six figures, to multiple six figures, the step-by-step processes of generating clients, of delivering an unmatched service, click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to a free training. It's around a 60-minute free training. And in that free training, I go through step-by-step how I signed my first 6 to 7 e-commerce clients. I think it was more 7 e-commerce clients. How I scaled to that point, which enabled me to scale to six figures. And then I also go through how to then, once you scale to six figures, how you can then further scale to multiple six figures. And I go through a bunch of other stuff as well, and just an overall how to run a successful agency. As I say, if you want to learn that, click the first link in the description. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some more context. If you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, queries, problems, anything like that, drop it in the comment section. I respond to every single comment that I get. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.